Let's get a quick take on the Air Quality Control Commission voting 8-1 this week to adopt a zero-emission vehicle program. Colorado becomes the 10th state in the country to adopt the standards, which Governor Polis touts as a key victory, giving consumers, what he says, more choice of vehicles. Patty Calhoun from Westward. Governor Polis is pretty proud of this one. Looking at his press release today, is this a big win for him?
It is a big win, and it's one of the things he talked about right when he got in office, and he got it through. It's also a big win for whoever wants to make electric-powered trucks, because that's 58% light trucks of what people want to buy in Colorado. You can't really get them. And to Tim Jackson of the Colorado Auto Dealers Association, get on that immediately. We understand your dilemma.
And Tim, we know you're watching because it's Friday and it's Colorado Inside Out, so we know you're watching, and thank you for doing so. Next up, we have Joey Bunch, Deputy Managing Editor at Colorado Politics. It's great to have you back, Joey. Now, this seems like a big win for Governor Polis, but it was an executive order and a commission. I don't know if he appointed the commission or how that really goes, but I don't know if there was much of a fight. How does this rank as a win for Governor Polis?
Well, I think it's more of a statement than a sea change. You know, this is something that Governor Polis said he wanted. It's another thing that Governor Polis has gotten, but it's a bold liberal statement. Now, does it make a big difference? It's 5% of the vehicles. Well, I think it's really going to make a difference in the rural areas of Colorado where the current technology just isn't well suited for that. So I'm with Patty. It's time for the auto dealers to provide trucks if they want these to sell in rural Colorado.
Michael Fields, Executive Director at Colorado Rising Action. Michael, what do you think about, I guess, the ability for Republicans to characterize this as overreach? Is this what we expect if we have Governor Polis as governor, or is this something a step too far that they can run with maybe next year?
I don't think it's a surprise. Obviously, this is something that they've talked about for a while. I do think it hurts the overall market. I mean, Tim also talked about how there is enough supply right now. The question is, there's not the demand there. And when that happens, if you're forced to have manufacturers buy certain cars or produce certain cars, the cost gets put on to the consumer, on people who really want to buy these things. So I think the market will get there eventually. We all want good air quality, but this might have some unintended consequences.
Natasha Gardner, Articles Editor at 5280, rounds out the panel. Natasha, in a state known for its trucks, at least outside the metro area, you get outside of Denver, it's we should be, I think, especially with between our agriculture and our mountains, be known for trucks. Is this going to make a dent?
I think so. I mean, I don't think they would have pursued it if they didn't think that that was a possibility. And as already been said, I think the market will catch up. You know, I personally was on a road trip last week, so I'm firsthand familiar with driving into the gas station, having to fill up, knowing how far, once you get out of the urban corridor, how far it is from place to place in the state. So what's interesting is that unlike some of the other states that have implemented this, Colorado is a great testing ground to find that middle space between, okay, you're driving in a city from point A to B and there's gas stations all around you, or there's electric charging stations all around you, versus someone who's driving in a rural environment in this state too. So I think what was heard pretty loud and clear was that there was some compromise between those two agendas in Colorado. So maybe that's a potential starting point for other conversations in the state where we can find some middle ground between rural and urban interests.